What keeps me awake at night is what happens to my girls when I'm gone. We don't have a plan that works right now. They won't have a permanent home.
I need help. I need help.
We do have support from Upper Valley Services that's fantastic. I wouldn't be able to get by without it. But I am still very concerned about long-term housing for them in the future when I'm not here anymore.
Kelly's story is not unique. Individuals with IDD often live at home with their aging parents into their 30s and 40s with little to no options, and they're being impacted by the housing shortage just like everyone else.
We need to provide housing model options for individuals with disabilities, and right now we don't have it.
People with developmental disabilities deserve options, and they deserve to be in homes that they can stay in, that work for them, that are safe, where they receive the supports they need, and that they can actively be engaged in relationships and community the way that they want to and have the kind of life that they want.
In 1992, we adopted Grace, who was born in Burlington, Vermont, and we decided that she needed a sister. So in 1995, we adopted Faith, who was born in New Jersey, and they became members of our family. They were both little babies when we adopted them.
Housing adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities is something that we just all need to do. Everybody in our community has to make this a priority.
These people are in our communities, and they're doing the jobs in our communities that help us live our lives, and everybody should be afforded those opportunities, and for safe, decent, affordable place to live.
We appreciate the state legislature and the support that they've given, and it's going to need to continue. We're going to need continued funding and investments in housing and support models that are going to work for the people with developmental disabilities in supporting them in their lives the way that they deserve and the way that they want and need it.
They might have different needs. They might need more support, but they still need a roof over their heads. They need a good house, a home, and it's no different than anybody else in the state.
Have any of you guys read this new book on anti-gravity?
I can't put it down.
They are individuals that are committed to their families, to their jobs, to social environments, and are really looking for long-term housing solutions. And I think that's a benefit to someone who is either renting or looking to attract an individual. They're really looking for their forever home.
Like to be independent?
I do. I do.
We're really excited about being a part of the Act 186, being a recipient and partnering with Down Street Housing. We're working on 2 initiatives right now, and I'm really excited about both.
We're looking at a single-family home to which you can develop an accessory dwelling unit to expand, the utilization there, and carving out a certain percentage of apartments in a multifamily apartment building, and then hoping to be able to replicate.
I love that.
Yeah. We both loved it.
Big takeaway is that it's so different. Every instance needs a different approach, and that's part of the interest, but part of the real challenge when you're trying to develop housing models.
I think most parents of adults with disabilities have the same worries that I have. It's incredibly important to us that our children are taken care of in a setting that nurtures them, that challenges them, that helps them with job support, with social interactions, with medical care if needed. We want more for them than just a bed to sleep in. We want a real, meaningful life.
We're talking about it now. We're working as a system, as a state. But in the meantime, what are other things we can do to kind of be ready? We live in a world where everybody uses technology, but we hadn't really been super active, I don't think, as a field, asking ourselves, with the individuals we serve. Now, how could technology be leveraged to help in this arena?
This grant care system shows you how to be very independent and will help you on knowing what your schedule is.
The nice thing about a lot of the new technology, it's not a big infrastructure add-on to a home. Do you have good internet connection and do you have power? Then we can probably develop some infrastructure in the home, technology that'll provide supports for individuals, whether it's, you know, good telehealth monitoring where you have secure communications with your service coordinator or your doctor, or a smart faucet that, you know, if you've left your faucet on and it's running, it knows to turn itself off because it's integrated with this technology. It's not a real heavy lift in terms of integrating it into a home.
I have the people to prove that I can do what I have not done before.
We have about 5 agencies that have surveyed our shared living providers. We're one, and what we're finding is that about 25% of our shared living providers are telling us that within the next 5 years they're going to be retiring. So we have an aging population, and this is going to create a huge problem over time, over the next 5 years. What people don't necessarily also understand is that right now, we have at any given point in our agency, we have about 1 to 2, up to 3 people currently who are without permanent housing. So the crisis is now. We're in a crunch time, and people don't have time for us to figure this out over the next 5 years or 10 years. We have to figure it out now.
What I worry about is that people don't understand the value of people with disabilities. I hope that they understand that, and I hope that they value them and do what's right in providing what they need.
If there's any state that can figure this out, in my mind, it's Vermont. I think that there are big problems, and I think we're going to be able to solve them. And I think we're going to be able to do it in a way that supports people individually in the decisions that they make, that have the highest level of respect for their right to live with dignity and autonomy and in the way that they really want and need it.
Because I am an independent woman.